What's up, everybody? This is a video response to this video that I just watched called The Consequences of Homosexual Marriage. So when I first put it on, I guess when I first clicked on the link, it was more of like I just wanted to see people's views, but what I saw completely baffled me, and I felt like it was my duty to say something about, to denounce this foolishness. Okay. Now, people of the world, people of the web, understand that I am completely 100% biased about this specific topic, because unless you can't tell, I am very much a lesbian. Therefore, I am in favor of homosexual marriage. That being said, let's go into the content of the video. The video first starts talking about that homosexual marriage is basically detrimental to children. It's not like we can raise children or anything. It's not like the lesbians in the community have wombs and uteruses and we can actually carry children. And unless you people don't know, you don't necessarily have to have sex with a man anymore to get sperm. And it's not like gay men can adopt or get one of them to conceive a child. I don't understand where this whole notion of we can't have kids comes from. Yes, I can't have kids with my fiance, but we can have a child and raise it. God. Okay, the argument is this. There was this incident, I believe it was in California. I can't be sure of all the facts I'm going to state right now. So I will post this video as a video response to that video if they let me post it. Or I will just put out the link. So they gave this book to a child in school. I think it was in California. And the book was called Who is in the Family? And basically the problem with this specific family of this little girl was that it depicted, it had a picture depicting a man and a man that are in a relationship, two men with a child. And they found this concept so offensive that they went to the school and demanded for this to be taken out of the things that they teach at that school. Now, the teacher says, you know, I went through the administration. They said there was nothing wrong with it, and they said that I didn't have to ask for parental consent. We don't ask for parental consent when we send children home with, this is not the words of the teacher, this is mine. We don't ask for parental consent when we send children home with books like Snow White and Cinderella, who clearly depict a life of being of a woman and a man. I don't understand how this is not biased. I don't understand how this is not contradictory. Okay. And we even promote bestiality in that The Beauty and the Beast. She fell in love with essentially a beast. She did not know him to be man. Oh, I agree. These are beautiful stories that teach us, our generation, my generation. I know I learned a lot of values from it, especially from the beauty inside of you as opposed to the beauty outside of you, and wrongdoers and karma and all of that. So I have no problems with these, but I don't understand why the idea of your child seeing two men together, two women together, is so completely offensive that you have to keep it away from all schools and away from all homes. I don't get it. So if you are, even if you are homosexual or any kind, or you're heterosexual or you don't, or bisexual, and you don't agree with this, with what I'm saying, and you say that they shouldn't teach of Calvin and Brian, so to speak. They shouldn't teach of those two. They should only teach that Snow White should be with her Prince Charming, and that Cinderella should be with hers. Explain to me why. Give me the reason why it's okay for Cinderella, but not for Brian and Calvin. Okay. The number two thing they said was at work, the workplace. It has consequences in the workplace because some officials, I would say, Mitt Romney ordered some officials to marry gay people, um, if, in order not to get their license to wed revoked. License to wed. I'm sorry, I said license to wed. Um, Again, I do not see the problem. You can't get married in a church if the church doesn't let you get married there. That's a matter of the church. It has nothing to do with the state. Again, that they can do that. If the a priest or a religious minister refuses to marry you because he is of a certain faith, there's nothing the state can do about that, and there's nothing we should want them to do about that, because that's the separation of church and state. They can't tell the church what to do. The church can't tell them what to do. Okay. Now, what he was referring to was those people who marry people outside of the church. A person who has a license to wed and is an official of the is a court appointed, I guess I would say, minister, has to marry gay and straight people alike. If the state that you're in says gay marriage is permissible, it is legal, then you have to do it. It is not your choice by faith. If this marriage thing you're going into is based on faith, if you want to marry people based on faith, be my guest, get the hell out of the court and go in the church. But if you are in the court and I present myself to get married to my fiance, which is a woman, you can't say nothing, because your job says you have to do it. So do it. Just because I was raised a certain way and I work in a restaurant and you are of a different faith, I have to serve you anyway. The logic of these people. Another thing was in the court that in Massachusetts law, in order to pass the bar now, I'm sorry, you have to be versed up on your gay marriage history in that state. I don't understand why it's so different about being aware of any other law. I don't. So one guy who wanted to be a judge refused to answer a question about the story of the history. I'm sorry, the history of gay marriage. The history of the law of gay marriage. Therefore, he did not pass the bar. If you refuse to answer a question on a test, they can't give you the score for that. I'm sorry, they just can't. So I don't know what to tell you people. It's just what it is. Just because somebody doesn't believe in the Prophet Muhammad and they study him in history, they don't have the choice of whether they're going to answer this question on a test or not. They just don't. Again, the logic of these people. The last thing that I remember of the video was them denouncing Boston for having elected two men as best parents of the year, or parents of the year. Two parents were found to be good to their child, very good indeed to their child, raised their child correctly with morals and values, and actually provided for their child. And it's a problem that they were praised for that. I don't get it. The whole concept of this video, if you don't think there's anything wrong with with homosexual marriage, and you don't think there's any bad consequences, you should present consequences that don't only affect people who already think it's wrong. Explain to me how me getting married to my fiance is going to affect your life as a person. Explain this to me. I don't get it. Then oh God, I commented on this video. I put a comment on there, a written comment, and my position was as follows in the video. My position was this. I'm sorry for the foul language. This video is a piece of shit. It is completely misleading about who we are. Anyway, but some bigoted fuck tells me that it is inappropriate to show your gayness. It's inappropriate to show that you're homosexual. Basically, I should sit here with my fiance as if she's only my friend because we're two women and not a woman and a man. I say, well, what's your basis of saying that? He says it's inappropriate. Sexual conduct shouldn't be shown out there like that. Would you say the same thing about heterosexual? His dumbass, just openly writes it that no, he would not say the same thing about heterosexuality because it is the norm. I'm going to let you there. Just ponder on that. Ponder away. And while you do that, I'm going to go eat me a sandwich.